Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to The Wellness Coach on Blog Talk Radio. I'm your host, Edie Summers, and we have a really special show today. I'm super excited. I have Dr. Braxton A. Cosby on the line. I think I just saw him come into the studio. So, Braxton, I'll welcome you into the studio in just a few minutes here. I just wanted to introduce him first. Dr. Braxton A. Cosby earned his doctorate of physical therapy from the University of Miami, where he competed in track and field, running the relays and hurdles. Dr. Cosby has been practicing physical therapy for over 13 years in acute care, pediatrics, sports medicine, and geriatrics. Dr. Cosby is also a certified personal trainer and nutritionist. He uses his experience and education to help both clients and patients achieve their ultimate fitness and functional goals. Dr. Braxton Cosby is also the CEO of the full-service entertainment company Cosby Media Productions, which has 5 divisions, including film, television, music, print media, and consultative services. Braxton Cosby is a multi-award-winning author who has a new book coming out on January 6th. It's called Fat Free for Life, and we're going to definitely be talking about that. He's actually also he's a multi-award-winning author. He has several books out, so I'm hoping that we can cover some of his other books too, potentially, but he has a new book coming out, Fat Free for Life. He is also the fitness brand ambassador for Smash On. This is a company that I work for, and I'm super excited to have him as our fitness brand ambassador. Smash On is the place to find the best in your local health and fitness providers and experts. And we're so proud and honored to have Braxton on board. And if you yourself would like to create a free health or fitness expert profile in order to network with other wellness professionals and grow your own brand, you can visit smashon.com. And to find out as well as CosbyMediaProductions.com. So I'm going to go ahead and welcome Braxton into the studio. Hi, Braxton. Is this you?
Yes. How you doing?
Hi. I'm good, thanks. How are you?
All right, and thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Well, it's my great honor. Thanks for being here today.
No problem at all.
So I was wondering, could you tell us more about your book that's coming out on January 6th, Fat Free for Life?
Yes, I do want to talk about Fat Free for Life. So in the world of publishing, things get switched around quite a bit. And now with the publisher, Charisma House, who the book is still going to be published by, they've actually delayed it a little bit. So it won't be out just in the beginning of the year as it was previously agreed on, but I do want to tell listeners exactly what my goals are as far as the fitness world is concerned with next year. You know, definitely I'm honored to be a part of Smash On and what you guys are doing, and being a brand ambassador for health and fitness is truly a privilege, so I'm very grateful for that opportunity. And with that, I really want to take the platform and make sure that I reach readers and listeners and all those who are already in tune with their health, and give them tools and tips and things that I can use from my experience and draw from my knowledge as well to help to impact them positively to stay and create and build more on the goals that they have already created and achieved, and continue to push forward with that. And then those individuals who are still struggling to get a handle and manage their weight and reach fitness goals that they haven't even dreamed that they could strive for, those are the people who I want to reach as well. because obviously, I mean, the numbers that are staggering. The percentages of people who are living with obesity and the diseases of excess weight around the world is alarming. By 2030 and 2040, we could be as high as 90% of the population being overweight, if not obese, 60% obese, and and there's so many secondary negative effects of being overweight. Has to do with not just the numbers when you go to your doctor and they say you have high cholesterol or other thing, but just your self-esteem. And how much you can really be used to help others. If you're overweight, there's limitations to how much you can possibly do. So those are the types of things I'm going to do on my platform to speak on, to encourage people and to kind of debunk some of the myths of weight and weight loss and weight gain and training and some of the things that are most effective so that they get the best use of their time. Being a father, still a therapist, and a husband, I definitely understand that you have time constraints for the things you want to get done in a day, and you only have 24 hours to do so. So I know that even with me, when I'm working out in the gym, I'm trying to be as effective as possible with my time.
Right.
How much time I have in the gym.
Absolutely.
So I want to be able to give that to people out of my own, like I said, my own experience and my own knowledge base, and say, hey, these things work for me. I think they can work for you as well. So I would definitely be doing that with Smash On.
I'm so excited. And, okay, so first I have a question for you. Do you go by Braxton or Dr. Cosby?
I go by Braxton. I mean, in the official world of teaching and everything, people like the official name and things like that. Doesn't bother. That's not a big deal to me.
Okay.
I
so
definitely
Braxton.
respect individuals who do it. But when we do interviews and stuff like this, it's just plain old Braxton.
Okay. I just wanted to double check before we go further.
Yeah, no problem at all. No problem.
Okay. Because it is. I mean, it's pretty. It's not everyone has a PhD either, so it's that's a pretty respectful thing to say. So, okay, so I'm working on a master's program. I know how challenging even just a master's program is. Well, I'm just saying that's taken me forever as it is. So
yeah. A lot of time.
I just love what you just said there, Braxton. And you're just I can tell that you're so passionate and so excited, and that's why we're so excited to have you on board. I think you're like the perfect person to be the spokesperson for, this is like a crisis. It's an epidemic at this point, isn't it? Obesity.
It really is.
Yeah. And I think, so when you were talking about like, what can you think of like off the top of your head? I know I didn't send you a question beforehand, like questions beforehand, but like what would be some of the few tips if you could think of just off the top of your head? I don't know if these are in Fat Free for Life or not, but that you would give to people just that you've found that work, not only for yourself, but just in general where you're working with people that are struggling with obesity.
Right. Well, the great thing about Fat Free for Life is when I went into this book, I really wanted to kind of make it a three-headed monster where it was talking about, what can we really do to finally get people on board with taking their health to the next level. And the full title of the book is Fat Free for Life, and it's 13 Principles of Guaranteed Weight Loss and Ultimate Health. So it's not just one of these books about just losing weight, but it's really about your health and what is it to have ultimate health. I think it's spiritual, it's physical, and it's definitely mental. So I attack the book on those three different levels. One is spiritually, I kind of come with the things that there'll be a topic. So there's 13 chapters, and one chapter will be a topic, and there'll be something like, well, what does the Bible say about this? And then what does so for the mental, it would be, and that would attack the spiritual. For the mental, it would be what does science say about it? This principle, and then I would give statistics and research that I had done about certain topic. And then lastly, when you're talking about the emotional, people have to be able to connect and feel like this is my struggle, and I need to be responsible. I need to be accountable. So tell me something that is a little bit more tangible. And I gave them testimonies, not of just myself, but great people who have accomplished amazing things. Wilma Rudolph, she went on to win the Olympics after she was diagnosed with post-polio syndrome. So those types of things are in the book. And I also talk about the campaign that I came up with when I really wanted to simplify eating and weight loss and exercise. And really it came down to the campaign I'm going to have coming out this year. I'm going to ask people to really join. It's called the Eat Less, Move More campaign. And what I do with that is, okay, listen, if you're somebody who's overweight trying to lose weight, rather than take away from you, because I this is what I live. This is my lifestyle of the way I eat. Rather than take away a whole bunch of things. Obviously, there's some certain things that you don't need to be eating. You don't need the fried foods for all the cholesterol. You don't need a lot of a high menu of sugary snacks and things like that. Yes, we understand that that's basic, but that doesn't stop people from doing it.
Right.
What I did with Eat Less, Move More was, why don't you take your normal plate that you normally eat and just cut it in half. So everything is half portions of what you normally eat. So if you eat a slice of cake, eat half of that cake. If you drink a cup of soda, drink half of the soda. If you have a normal plate of food, take that normal plate which you normally take up, cut it in half. Don't throw the food away. Eat it later for maybe dinner, or maybe you eat it for lunch tomorrow. And that just covers the eat less portion of it. And I do tell people, no fried foods and no seconds. Those are my other two rules. Don't do those two things. You cannot have seconds when you're trying to make this lifestyle change. Learn to train your mind to say that's enough. And I know you'll be full, because I don't eat till I'm full anymore. I'm not sitting around going, man, I'm stuffed. My stomach has shrunk, but it's more I've beaten I've got satiety in just having that one helping. I'm okay with that. So that's where I started, and I say when it comes to move more, you need to do twice as much as you normally do. So if you buy yourself a pedometer, say, well, Braxton, I don't really exercise, but I walk, during the day. Okay, so if you take 1,000 steps a day with the pedometer, bump it up to 2,000. So you half what you normally eat, and you double the amount of movement you normally have. If you do 30 minutes on a treadmill, bump it up to 60, And I have had, I cannot even tell you the feedback I've gotten from people, just how much they've really been able to take control of something like that, because I'm not taking the food out of their mouth anymore. I'm just teaching them about volume. So my big attack on eating is more about volume control. And I have a chapter in the book called Turn Down the Volume and Listen. So we really do talk about volume and how volume makes such a huge difference. And when you overstuff your stomach, and the stomach is a muscle, it just starts to stretch and adapt over time to being stretched. And because it stretches more, then it asks for more food to fill it, and it keeps sending signals to your brain, I need more food, and you keep doing it. And then there's the process of actually getting the food from point A, which is your mouth, to your stomach. Point B, there's a time window. And normally what people do is they just keep eating because they've taken up this huge plate. They eat all that food, and then it hasn't had time to fill their stomach. And then by the time when they really have finished the last bite, their stomach's full, and then they go, oh, I feel miserable.
Right.
So if you take the volume of food down, and you put that in, you just sit and wait. By the time it really does settle, you kind of go, oh, I had enough,
Yeah.
But the fight really is in between your ears. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm sorry. What did you say? The fight is between your ears?
It really is. It's between your ears.
Yeah.
Eating is such a mental fight. We eat for so many reasons. I tell people you need to ask yourself the questions: why you eat, when you eat, and what you eat. And those three things you need to really consider. Why are you eating right now? You're eating because it's habitual. I'm a family guy. We have family events. There's going to be food. Is that why I'm eating? Because I'm used to having food at a family event. Okay, well then what's the next question? And what am I eating? And then the last question is what exactly is my purpose of eating, and how can I control that? And when you get into asking yourself those questions, you really start to realize that you are in control. And I know Fat Free for Life really kind of gives people that again. It gives them the control over their health. And I'll be doing that same type of stuff in the blog that I'm going to be putting on Smash On, is giving people the tools and the tips to get control of their health again.
Oh, wonderful. And so Braxton, I have a couple questions for you. So when do you expect the book to come out now, or do you guys not have another
it's a tentative date. I think it's even looking more towards the winter of 2015.
Okay.
So it gives me a really good opportunity anyway to kind of push and to give people a good platform. They can kind of get used to me seeing my style and what I'm putting out there, and then kind of recognize me. So when the book comes, it's even bigger. So it's not a big. It's a pause. It's not a stop.
Yeah. No, it is. I totally hear you. I have a book coming out I've been finishing. I'm editing, and people have known about it for a couple of years now. It does make a difference. People get really excited when they can anticipate. It's kind of like the same thing with like a movie coming out, right, or something like. If you build anticipation, then
that's right.
People will remember the name, and then. again, I think you're not only the perfect fitness brand ambassador for Smash On, if not just ambassador for Smash On, but I think you're the perfect fitness brand ambassador for the world. So I'm super excited. I think it's true. So I'm very excited that you have this platform that's building. And I was wondering, could you tell us more about Cosby's Corner? Because isn't that where you talk about, and also you have a TV or another radio show, right, where you guys talk about
Yeah,
kind of a lot of these
Cosby's
things.
Corner is just it's my place where you just kind of come and just hear from me. So I reviewed books, I reviewed movies. I give all my, I give blog tips. I did a campaign, a couple of series. I did series talks on, power foods and things, the power of the peanut and almonds and stuff like that. So, and I offered up some other tips on exercise and what's the best time to exercise and exercising with a buddy. Some of the things that I kind of just touch on in the book as well. I elaborate a lot on the blog. So if you go to my website, BraxtonCosby.com, you can go to Cosby's Corner, and that's just my blog site. What I am shifting to now in the new year, and you guys are the first to know about it, is I will have an active podcast going from Cosby's Corner as well. And the podcast is going to serve as two purposes. One, people can continue to hear some of the things I'm talking about, but also it's going to be called Fat Free. So it's going to be the Fat Free podcast where and it's fat free. It's talking about health stuff, but it's also just, we're not talking about the things of the world and getting caught up in what's going on with this celebrity and all that other stuff. We're talking about real things, real times, and things that I think are going to help to inspire and educate and motivate people. So that will be on Fat Free. That podcast will be ready to be listened to next week on Monday.
Wonderful.
So that'll come out every 2 weeks, and I'll definitely be having that link from Smash On. People can go and listen to it. And it'll be a 30-minute thing.
So
it's an offshoot from what we used to do with Ask the Fat Doctors, where I used to have the radio show with Jamie Dukes and Carla Fields. Jamie Dukes is NFL Network personality, of course, played for the NFL for years, and he was somebody who struggled with his weight also. And then Carla Fields is a fitness guru down here in Atlanta. And we just had a good time. We talked about current events. We talked about health stuff. We had people on the show talking about diabetes and just everything you could about combating these diseases of excess weight. We even started a boot camp down with one of the mega churches in Atlanta. Had about 15 people come in. They lost over 100 pounds together over 10 weeks, changed their life. And then they told me, man, this fat-free, this eat less, move more, Dr. Cosby, I can't tell you how simple it is, and I'm even saving money because I'm eating half my lunch one day and half the lunch the next day, so, and they got serious, and they only met with us once a week with the boot camp, but they were implementing the other tips and things we were talking about with the program in their daily life. So definitely, anytime you can effectuate change in people in the lifestyle and the habits they do, that's really empowering them to be successful down the road.
Oh, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And it is very holistic. It is mind, body, and spirit. And I think once people start realizing that, they can get motivated from different angles. Because I think a lot of times people think, it's all just like physical or it's all mental, but if you really, I mean, I actually agree. Mindset is huge. It's definitely can be a game changer. But so can spirituality, and so can working with realizing that you're not alone, reaching out and finding motivation. There's so many different ways that it's all about what's going to do it for you. And so I think it's just never give up. Just keep trying, keep listening, and keep talking to people, keep trying things until you figure something out. So I'm really curious. So we have about 10 minutes. So I know there's a lot we could talk about, and I mean I hope you come back because there's so many things that you do. But I have a couple questions. I'm very curious. How did you get into health and fitness? I'm just really curious about that. And then also, how did you get into? You're also an actor, and also you write other books. You write fiction, and you're like a multi-award-winning author. So I'm just so those are. I know that's a lot of questions, but I'm wondering if you feel like answering.
Well, the easiest one you asked the easiest one you asked was how did I get into health and fitness, and basically I ran, I competed in sports in high school, three-sport athlete, football, basketball, and track, and when I went to college I picked one, which was track. So, I got injured my senior year, kind of my junior, senior year, and a big injury that knocked me out because I ran the hurdles, and I ended up tearing my hamstring, which obviously you have to have a lot of flexibility and strength at the same time, so there's a very sensitive curve here of balance between strength and flexibility. And I really, I worked with some great trainers who were really doing their best to kind of get me back on the road to recovery, but they were limited in what they can do because they were just trainers, and I ended up meeting with some physical therapists down the line and just trying to change my whole view, like you say, the holistic thing, the holistic piece of it's not just the hamstring anymore. You got to look at this and that. You got to look at balance. You have to look at all these other components that we tackle in physical therapy that go into making you well-rounded and basically give you a good, strong foundation to avoid injury again. So it was more about prevention, not just waiting until you get injured and fix it. So that took me down the health track. And then I just kind of got a passion for really helping people. And I tell people, physical therapy is one of these things. You either have a knack to do it or you don't. And, I can walk into a situation, see somebody, and just from my experience of running tracks, so knowing about posture and form and technique, and then also strength training as a personal trainer, and then being a nutritionist, and then being a physical therapist, I just bring so many things together to treat that one person that you can get a specific regimen or workout from me, or even a game plan to say, hey, if these are your problem areas, have you tried this yet? And so I've been able to do that, and I've been very grateful to be successful helping people with that. So that's my whole health spiel, and I just wanted to find something that I know would work for me, because I still want to eat cake every now and then. I still want to, have drinks and eat less, move more. Just made a lot of sense to me, and it just all of these. I remember I read somebody's book. I don't know, I can't remember the name of the guy, but you can lose weight if you do this. And you really, by the time you got through trying to follow everything, you probably just were eating air. Like you couldn't eat anything to lose weight. I'm like, who can follow this and still enjoy life? Everybody loves to eat. Eat something at least, and I just think it came down to volume. So that was my reason for the campaign. Now the other piece is the books I love. I'm a science fiction writer. I just love science fiction. I love young adult fiction. I really love fiction, period, overall. I love creativity. And God put a passion in me back in 2010 to actually write these books and to create stories that really would be more than just action and explosions and all that other great stuff, but actually stories that would make people think and enjoy what they were reading and actually connect with the characters, and hopefully the characters would teach something and instill something, especially in young people. Protostars is book one of the Starcross saga, which is one reader's favorite and Literary Classics Book of the Year award for science fiction young adult. And the second book comes out in April of this year, so I am excited about that. But it really just talks about young love and loving people outside of what they can do for you, and really loving people even if the world is coming against you. So it teaches accountability and standing for a cause regardless. If you just know it's right, you stand for it, and regardless of what the popular vote is. And I think a lot of young people aren't doing that anymore. They're just kind of going with the flow, and they're not taking accountability for their actions. And my other book that's going to be coming out this first quarter as well is The Wingate. I'm re-releasing it. It was under another publisher for a while, and I'm re-releasing it now. It's called The Sect, and that's book one of the School of Ministry series. Great book, more like a faith-based book for young people. Talks about an orphan who was orphaned real early, found out he has spiritual gifts, and now he's joined this team called The Sect, who are basically their whole thing is to hunt down evil and protect the weak, and there's a double love triangle in there as well. So it's got a lot of layers to it.
Wow,
so I'm excited about those
amazing.
2 books.
Congratulations.
Yeah, and thank you. So
That's
those
really...
things are my passion. I love them, and I'm working on all of the sequels now. So somewhere in here I'll get the time to finish those, so people can still get those books. So they can look for those in the first quarter.
Absolutely, and I really love the titles too. You just have some great titles, but what you said this before, and you were talking about being healthy, is that actually it enables you to fulfill your potential, which is something I don't think a lot of people think about. It gives you, it frees up your energy, so again, it's about finding the reason, why do you want to be healthy, maybe it is so that you can, reach that big dream or big goal that you've been thinking about. And
Absolutely.
That is on the back burner. So it's just another reason why, again, there's so many different reasons and ways to be healthy. So. And
Absolutely.
then Braxton, okay, so we have 5 minutes. So I want to make sure people know about your website. So again, there's BraxtonCosby.com, and then you have Cosby Media Productions. That's your production
company. The publishing company.
The publishing
production company. We do books, music, film, and books, music, film, television, and we also have a consulting company that is attached to that as well.
Wow. And so what is the name of that website specifically?
That's Cosby Media Productions with an S.com.
Okay. And then
they'll see all the book offerings we have there.
And then, I'm sorry, what did you say? All the book offerings?
They said they'll see all the book offerings we have there, too, that we published last year. Fantastic books that came out.
So you're publishing other books, too? Is that true? Or
yes.
How does that? Oh, wow.
Yep.
And then also can you tell us just a little bit about your publishing and production company? Like, what else are you guys doing right now?
Yeah, what we're excited about with Cosby Media Productions is that we wanted to build all of the stories from the ground up. So we partner with authors to take in the books that we feel are going to be very powerful and effectual in our society. We take those books and we want the ownership. So then what we have is we have partners, producers, and film directors and movie makers who we decide on a book to say, hey, this book is probably better for a series potential like a book, or it's actually a film potential. So once we take those stories and we cultivate them with the authors, we write them into screenplays, and it's just a matter of using the right channels to get those books put into either film or television. And that way we want the authors to have the image come out on the screen, whether it's TV or film, in the same vision that they had when they created it, so it doesn't get watered down and it turns into something entirely different. Everybody says, man, I read the book, the movie was nothing like that. We want it to be as authentic as possible. So, we have a great slew of books that we're looking for potential to do animated film on one this year. And, of course, we're also, right now we're working on partnerships to get Protostar fully funded to get off the ground. So we're excited.
Wow. Now, and Protostar, that is one of your books?
Yep, that's my book. That was the science fiction young adult series that's out now, and the sequel to it, Supernova, will be out in April. Wow.
And then also, I just want to mention briefly that you really focus on positive entertainment. Is that right?
Yes. Yep, no cursing. We try to avoid the cursing or the sex. We want everybody to be able to pick up these books and feel good about what they're reading. We want adults to feel, and parents to feel good about what their kids are reading, that they know that somewhere in here there's a nice message that people say, I didn't see that coming. That was good, though,
I really love that. And also, again, I do think that comes back to well-being, because I really like to talk about more than just health. I think health is, again, it's holistic and it's very comprehensive. And I think hopefully when people start to realize that, it makes it easier, I think, to kind of ease into, like, what does well-being really feel like? It's what I think, it's what I eat, it's what I do. And, well, we could go on and on, but I don't know if you heard that. That was a disembodied lady's voice. So we have 90 seconds. I'm glad you think that's funny. Some people don't know what I'm talking about when I say that.
I know what you're talking about.
Well, Braxton, I want to thank you so much for being here today. And I'm super excited to be working with you in the capacity of Smash On, and it's just super nice to meet you. And I know I met you a couple years ago through Twitter, and we sort of met just a while ago, but it's really nice to get to know you more, and I'm just really in awe of everything that you're doing, and I just want to say thank you for all that you're doing.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, and I appreciate being a part of what you guys are doing in 2015.
I'm excited. I think 2015 is I have a really good feeling about it.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again for being here, and I hope you come back, and
Certainly.
I will talk to you, I'm sure, sooner than later. And again, everyone go check out BraxtonCosby.com and also Cosby Media. Look for Braxton. What was the name of your other book?
They can look for Protostar, and The Sect will be out early 2015, probably anywhere between February and March.
Oh, wonderful. Perfect. Well, thanks, Braxton, for being here. I really appreciate it, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.